Okay. G. O-A-K-G. Studio. K553 Pros. Under $200. And a closed set of AKGs, which is new to this channel, I believe. Now, these have gone through a couple revisions here with the 550s. Then I think they were the 551s, 52s, and then 53s. Or I think they may have skipped one. I don't know. I didn't pay attention. Should have been paying attention. Different classes I was in. They say designed in Austria, but they're not made there, not for this price. However, I will say they are built remarkably well. I mean, remarkably well. Yeah, these don't feel like they're going to do anything nasty to you. You know, a year down the line, oh, they fell apart. You have to really abuse the hell out of them to make them fall apart. They're actually, for their build quality, they're pretty light. They got all these metal components. Or really nice plastic components, at least. The pads. Ooh, left and right. Well, actually, that one's... There you go. OCD kick in now. These are big. Here's alpha pads. Here's aerodynamic pad. The reason my pads are out is not just because of the 669 review I just completed, but the owner of these sent them to me and said, hey, the pads annoy me. Can you figure out what will fit them? And that's going to be tough because here are the 669 pads, which were the biggest pads I'd ever used. And now these are just a little bit bigger. And the problem with having pads just a little bit bigger than the 669s is nothing's going to fit. Because I nearly ripped anything I put on those headphones. So you're pretty much stuck with them. And you know what? I know it's the owner's, prerogative that he doesn't like them. He wants the hole here bigger. And I could see that. It's not the right shape for a human ear. It needs to be like, God, look at the flex in that. It's like your mom after that prom party. Just look at that. That is crazy. And they're soft. But they make that, and maybe none of you experienced it, but you know that garbage bag crinkle sound? Or like the t-shirt bags you go shopping with? These have that sound in them. But they're so soft. God. They should be comfortable. They should be comfortable as hell, and I shouldn't have any complaints. There is a complaint, though. You see, this rotating mechanism here and this angled mechanism are dampened so that they go nice and smooth. And they stay there. So they turn it, and it stays there. You turn this, and it stays there. And because the pads are so big and so soft, and you put them on your head, they just stay there in whatever orientation. Then you could twist it and it stays there, and you have to physically maneuver these joints until the pads are even. If the pads were stiffer, it might just level on its own, and if the joints were looser, it may just level on its own. You put on any other headphone on fucking earth and it just goes on and goes, and there, it's perfect. With this one you put on like this and it goes, ah, shit. And then you could twist it, and it just stays there. It twists this, it stays there. It twists, So you put them on your head, and you end up doing like, you could just press them, press the outsides in, and it's sort of like those, and then it stays. It's an annoyance. It's an annoyance. It's a wonderful type of annoyance. The build quality is so good that it's preventing it from seeking its level on your head. But it can be an annoyance nonetheless. So that's really the only thing that bothers me. The top bit here, I mean, the padding is exactly that thick. Not a lot. Luckily, the clamp is enough to keep them from falling down and relying on this. A lot of headphones that are heavy, I'm looking at you, ZMFs, rely on the top bit to hold them from falling down. But these do a good job of being an overall comfortable experience. And I will have to try to squeeze something on here for him, just so I could say I tried, because it's I don't have pads big enough. I need bigger pads. I gotta go get some Audi. Actually, That is something I need to add to my list, is just to have a pair, an extra set of the Audi's pads, because those things are huge. Those would fit this. I don't have a set. Maybe I'll recommend those to him. Let's listen to them again, because I was just listening to them, but I like them, so let's listen to them again. A little bit of Mr. Robot coming in right now. DDoS hacking song. It's just gentle typing to the left. Oh. Some brake squeaks, some walking. Start with the negatives. The low end on these is not spectacular. They don't have a lot of... Basically, the pads is here. This is where the pad is. So this area, this little cup that's sticking out, that's the only volume of air that the driver has to work with. The 669s could provide the bass. You know, Pro 80s have, you know, space behind it. These have very little space. This is very small. Even the M40Xs have a slightly bigger actual air volume behind the driver to allow it to generate low end. I mean, you can't really make a subwoofer that's super flat unless you port the hell out of it. And since these are closed, you can't port the hell out of it. So you end up with them trying to make low end. You could hear it. I'm putting on songs that I know have that fucking rumble. And it's just like, it wants it so bad and I can't pull it out. I can't pull it out. But that's one of the only negatives. The only other negative is they've chopped the highs down a bit. Because if you know anything about AKG, you'll know sometimes the highs can get a little murderous. So the fact that they've reduced them in this design is probably for the best. Because you don't want to have a closed, tight, wanted to play Led Zeppelin. A closed, tight set of headphones with murderous treble is much worse than a closed, tight set of headphones that has a slightly reduced treble. And it's not gone, it's not muffled, it's just slightly reduced. So the bass is a little lacking and the treble's a little lacking, which leaves you with one thing. Beautiful mid-range. The thing that no one talks about ever. It's all about that bass, no treble. What about the fucking mid-range, lady? What's going on with that? Talk to anyone that owns Wave Crests and see if they like mid-range. They fucking love it. So these have mid-range quality. And I mean, that's all the vocals. That's most of your instruments that aren't just super strings or made up magical instruments that only deadmau5 can perform on. So that's a lot of good in this. They're A-shaped. They're the opposite of V. V is this, where there's more treble and more bass. These are A-shaped. They give that little bit of warmth to, you know, the important shit that, you know, we all hear in the middle. In the middle. The imaging on these is also fucking spectacular. Imaging being the resolution between. They don't get super wide. I put on Yoshi Horikawa's The Letter. Yoshi Horikawa's The Letter, where he writes from left to right. And you put on different headphones, it'll either happen way outside the cans, and you go shh, or it'll happen inside, and you'll get a nice progression left and right, and these do that. Spectacularly. So for the price, these are worth looking into. Made in the People's Republic of China. Because the people definitely matter with all their blocked internets and firewalls. That's exactly what these feel like on your head. It's just amazing. Only 3 left in stock. Order now. Or they'll get cheaper, apparently. Do they still have the 550s? Yeah, they have the 550s, which are more money. Huh. Why? I don't understand that. If you understand that, mention it in the comments. Because I always assumed that the 553s were the upgraded version of the 550s. Were there 551s and 2s? Now I don't even know if those existed. God damn it. Gotta quit going on these trips where I forget everything. Oh, they're making that sound, that scrunchy sound. Warm, milky mid-range. So I got Nine Inch Nails Reptile just started. And it's all left channel at the beginning. It's just some factory sounds to the left. And they're happening in the cup. They're not going... There's soundstage, but it's just a little bit. It's just the smallest bit. So those are the negative values for the 553. Is the soundstage is cramped a bit, but the imaging is amazing, and there's mid-range like for days. Mid-range for days. The fact that they fold like this is actually pretty... It makes them almost very compact. If this was a little less angled, I wouldn't feel like that was going to break. Like, I feel like that is a bad news. Oh! I almost forgot. It's got an attached wire. Why, AKG? Why? What could it cost you? I know you use that stupid XLR, mini XLR connector on all your stuff, and I hate you for doing that as well. But just don't do this. I mean, yeah, maybe you can't fit it like here, and up there would be too tight to do. But listen to Superlux or something. To do something that isn't an attached wire. Which, by the way, comes with its own custom 1/4" adapter that screws on and is matching in color. Isn't that nice? Says AKG. God damn it, AKG. They're so close. They're so close to a just winner here, because mid-range headphones don't happen. They're not just mid-range in price. Mid-range, like, they are non-V-shaped. They're either neutral or V-shaped. So this is a special set. Headset? This is a special het. I'm going with that. That's my new word. This het is really good. Hashtag het. And you know what the other surprising thing is? I had just finished with another set of headphones, and I plugged this in, and the volume was up to half. And the OWN is not the most powerful thing. And actually, I plugged them in to the Arist because I figured AKG, oh, that's going to require this, you know, stroke of lightning from God to power those. And they don't. They're super efficient. Super efficient. Like portable amounts of efficiency would a phone would push these just fine. So that's their other little thing. Want to run over? Let's run it over again. Comfortable. I believe they're comfortable. As soon as you work out the angularity that they need to sit on your head, every time you put them on your head, you've got to like adjust them every time. The cord is attached. Beautiful, warm, milky mid-range. Well built to the nines. Like probably AKG's best built set of headphones that I've touched. I don't know. Their open stuff has a thing that I just don't jive with. This is much better. I love this design and every. Oh, dude, this is all good. This is all hood in the good. I like it. Yeah. 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 Definitely worth a look.